Hey, are you still at home? Or have you already left for work?
Oh, hey, Ron. Yeah, I'm actually already out of the house.
What the heck? You mean you left the house and you didn't even tell me about it? You should have woken me up before you left for the day.
But I did wake up. Before I left the house, I went into our room and woke you up.
Well, you clearly didn't do it the right way, did you? Otherwise, I wouldn't have slept in.
I called your name and I saw you open your eyes. I don't know what else you expected from me. I mean, at the end of the day, you should be able to get out of the bed all on your own. Don't get mad at me because you get yourself to work late because you don't know how to wake up properly.
What are you talking about? Are you really going to pretend like this is all my fault? You can't just blame me for this when you had a part in it. You should have just made sure that I actually got out of bed before you left for work.
Sorry, don't you have some kind of party that you're supposed to be going to tomorrow? Shouldn't you be getting ready for that instead of complaining to me about all of this?
Oh, you're talking about the anniversary party of one of our clients' companies? Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Well, it sounds to me like you're basically expected to go by your bosses, right? I think you might still be able to make it on time if you move quickly. So I would quit trying to pick a fight with me and just go and get ready for your job.
Fine. I'll go and get ready for this dumb party. So you have any idea where my navy blue suit is? I can't just wear the usual outfit for work. We're all supposed to come dressed in something nice for this party. I was thinking of wearing that blue suit to it.
Yeah, I think that would look really nice on you, Ron. Your suit should be hanging in the closet. I don't think that I've even taken it out of the dry cleaning bag, so it should be in there.
Great. Thank you, Beth. Now, I just need to figure out which necktie would look the best on me. I don't know. I don't want to go too over the top and look like I'm going to a wedding or anything. By the way, do you have any suggestions for what kind of undershirt I should wear?
Ron, I am really, really sorry, but I have work that I need to be concentrating on right now.
But if I can't figure this out, then I'm definitely going to be late for the party. I only have half an hour before I really need to be out of the house.
Well, maybe you should have thought about what you wanted to wear for this the night before. Then you could have asked me to check then, and we wouldn't be having to do all of this right now.
No, you should have been there laying out my outfits before I went to bed. You knew that I had this party going on today, didn't you? So why didn't you try and plan ahead for me for it? What's the matter with you?
I'm so sorry for assuming that you'd figure out how to pick out an outfit for yourself. Do you really need me to pick out your clothes for you? Can you really not even handle that?
I just don't know what looks good with what. Come on, this client is really important. Are you trying to make me embarrass myself there? Just give me a hand and help me pick out what to wear, please?
Okay, fine. Do you remember that necktie that you got from your parents last year? I think you should wear that. As for the undershirt, you're probably just fine going with standard white. Like you said, this is, at the end of the day, a business function, so you don't want to overdo it on your outfit.
I see. Yeah, that all sounds good. What about my hair? Should I do anything with it?
I think you can just style your hair how you always do. Is there anything else? Can I please get back to doing my work now?
Okay, so we got clothes and hair. But what about my shoes? Which pair of shoes should I wear to complete the outfit?
Literally just the same shoes that you always go to work in. Those look nice.
You know, I don't think that you're actually putting all that much thought into this. I am serious about this. So can you please at least pretend to be?
I am being serious about this. I know what the closet looks like, and I'm telling you what to wear. You told me you wanted to go with your blue suit, so I'm thinking of what would go good with that, okay?
Okay, geez, fine. It just feels like you're not taking this as seriously as I am.
Anyways, are you going to be coming home late because of this party of yours?
No, I think that I'll just go straight home once it's done. I'll ask my boss as it starts to wrap up if I can just leave.
Got it. Well, in that case, it sounds like you might get home before I do. So when you do get home, please make sure that you hang your suit and pants back up so that they don't wrinkle. Ron, the house is a complete mess. Did you do this? What happened here?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I was really busy looking for my wallet. I was just about to go out and do some shopping, and then I couldn't find it anywhere.
So you made this much of a mess in the house just looking for your wallet? It looks like a burglar ransacked our home. Can you please clean all of this up when you get back?
What? Why should I have to clean it all up? How about you clean it up?
Ron, why would I clean up this mess when you were the one who made it?
Well, I mean, you're always cleaning up after me, aren't you?
You're right, I usually do for some reason, but I'm going to be busy getting dinner ready. So can you please just clean up after yourself? I'm not your mother, you know.
Oh, come on. The mess isn't that bad. You don't have to be acting like this just over a little disorder.
It's about more than just this mess. You are always asking me to do everything for you. I have work that I need to do, and I can't keep getting distracted having to do every little thing for you.
So what? You'd rather I call you anytime that I need you to do something for me? Is that it?
That is not what I said at all. In fact, you bother me enough during the day with all of these little texts. Anytime you want to know something, you always have to come to me first. But you know, if you wanted to be able to find your things faster, then you should just keep the house clean in the first place. Then maybe you wouldn't be losing so many of your things all the time. Have you thought of that?
Now you listen here. I'll have you know that I know exactly where all the important stuff is for me. It's not like I'm making mess with anything valuable.
Ron, how can you honestly be trying to say that to me? Do you have any idea just how many times you've lost your keys this year?
Okay, well I don't get the big deal about losing something like a house key. You can always just make a new one. I don't really think that's such a big deal.
Except you realize that it costs money to make a new key, right? Not only that, but now there might be multiple copies of our house key out in the world. Doesn't that make you nervous at all? Doesn't that make you want to be better about keeping your stuff in order?
I really don't think that it's nearly as bad as you're trying to make it sound. I know where my things are, and just because you can't see the system I have doesn't mean that there isn't one. So anyways, could you please just clean up around the house? I'm almost back home anyways.
What is it? What do you want? Just how many times are you going to call me like this? You should know that I am in the middle of work. Why are you doing this?
Well, you wouldn't happen to know where my silver USB went, would you?
No, I wouldn't know where it is because I haven't seen it at all recently.
I'm so sure that I left it in my bag that I always bring with me to work. Can you please just try and remember where it was that you last saw it? I really have looked up and down and everywhere for it, and I have no idea where it's gone.
I already told you that I have no idea where your USB would have gone.
But why? You should know more about where things are in this house than I do. Please, can't you just think about where you last even might have seen it?
Do you really need to be bothering me about this right now? Can this not wait until later?
No, it can't wait at all. This is really, really important and I need it right now. There's really important information about the company on the thing, and if I lost it, well, I was the one entrusted with it, and I just can't be the one to lose it.
So you really ended up losing something that important then, huh? Well, can you remember at all where you last had it?
I know that a couple of days ago, I took it from work and I had it inside my backpack. But after that, I can't remember taking it out or even touching it. So that makes me think that it has to be somewhere in my bag, but I've looked through it all and I just can't find it.
Well then, are you absolutely sure that that's where you put it? Did you actually look through every little pocket in your backpack?
I've looked in every pocket. I've taken everything out. I've shaken upside down and nothing's come out. What am I gonna do?
And you're really sure that it would have been in your bag? There's nowhere else that you can think of where it might be?
I don't know. Maybe I took it out just once. But I really have no idea at all where I would have put it after that.
I see. Well, do you think that you might have moved it or even taken it out of your bag when you made that big mess of the house the other day? Because I saw that your backpack was on the floor then.
You think it might have fallen in between one of the couch cushions or something like that?
No, I don't think it would have been there. I actually just vacuumed in between the couch cushions and I didn't catch anything.
But it has to be in the house somewhere if it's not in my backpack. I've looked everywhere for it, though. I swore that I put it in my backpack, and then I just never ever touched it after that. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, maybe you need to retrace your steps and see if there isn't a moment where you could have dropped it. But that is why I try to tell you to be more organized with your things. If you were, then I don't think these kinds of things would happen.
Look, I didn't come to you looking for a lecture, okay? I really don't have time for this from you. Please just help me look for it once you get back here, okay?
This is exactly what I was trying to warn you about, Ron. Look, when I get back from work, I am going to be exhausted. I have been outside of the office all day.
Now is not the time to be making excuses for yourself. Maybe if you were better at cleaning up the house, then this wouldn't have happened. You moved my USB, and now you won't even tell me where. This is all your fault.
Oh, come on, Ron. You can't actually think that this is my fault, right? It's not my job to keep track of your things.
But what if you just accidentally threw it away without even realizing what it was, huh? I mean, don't you think there's a chance that you could have moved it?
I was the one who told you to come home and clean up the mess you had made. You were the one that insisted to me that there was nothing of value on the floor.
But, I mean, that was only because I thought that everything important was in my backpack already. Besides, I asked you to clean it, so you must have touched it.
I really don't think that I have anything to do with this at all, but if you must know, I don't remember seeing a USB at all while I was cleaning up after you.
Well then please, you have to come home right now and help me look for it. This is really, really serious.
I'm sorry, but you lost this thing and it's your responsibility to find it. Don't get mad at me for something that you did.
But I didn't even do anything to begin with. This is all your fault. And now I'm going to be punished by my work because of something that you did. If anything happens to me because of this, just know that you're going to pay.
And why is it that I should have to take responsibility for something that you lost, huh? I'm sorry, but I am not going to play along this time. This is your problem, so you need to learn how to deal with it.
You have really done it now. I got into so much trouble at work because of your little stunt.
And just what stunt did I happen to pull?
I'm talking about the USB, of course. But it's not just that. Because you didn't help me look for it, I've been worrying about it so much that I made several mistakes at work today. You should have been taking care of my stuff better. Why would you do this to me?
I didn't do anything to you at all. You're the one who made the mistake, and now you're trying to blame it on me. But it's not my fault. You were the one who made the mess and then insisted that I clean it up. You really are trash. Do you know that?
Excuse me? What did you just say? Who do you think you are trying to talk to me like that, huh? You need to take responsibility for what you've done. You've lost the USB that is full of valuable data from my clients. Do you have any idea how much trouble I'll get in if my bosses learn that I've lost this?
Oh, I would guess that they already know. After all, you said that you were the one tasked with holding on to it, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean? What did you do? She didn't do anything that you hadn't already done to yourself through this. We thought that you were ready to be trusted carrying around important data like that, but you were clearly far from ready. Why did you even take something as important as that home to begin with? Wait a second. How did you know all that? The only person who would know that would be Mr. Howard? That's right, Ron. It's me, your boss. And I have to say that I'm very disappointed in you. But I don't understand. Why are you texting me from my wife's number? What's going on here? You have got some nerve trying to blame your wife for all of this mess. Do you really need your wife to do every little thing for you? Here I thought that you could actually be trusted with some responsibility. No. Wait, there's been some kind of mistake here. Oh yes, there has been a huge mistake. And that mistake was ever trusting you with such vital information in the first place. But I still don't get what's going on here. Why are you texting me from Beth's number? Is that really what you're shocked about? We're together in the same room in the office, if you must know. She actually came by here to drop off the USB that she told me that you had lost. Wait a second. So she had it this whole time and didn't tell me? Apparently, you had dropped it in the subway stop you always take, and it was returned to the front desk. Then your wife, who was clever enough to retrace your steps for you, went to the lost and found and was able to retrieve it. And yet all you did was demand that she come home and find it for you when you had lost it? But I was just so sure that I'd lost it somewhere at home. You weren't even supposed to be taking that thing home with you in the first place. You were supposed to return it by the end of the day. And because you didn't, not only did we know that it had been checked out to you, but that means that if anything happened to it, you were always going to be the one on the hook. You know, if your wife hadn't brought this here to the office, we could have sued you. But it's all okay now because she found it. Isn't that right? Oh no, you are not going to be getting away with this without being punished. And nobody is going to cover for you regarding this, especially after the way you've treated your poor wife. It's clear that you have no real sense of responsibility, and I think the only way of teaching you how is to show you that your actions have consequences. Please, this won't ever happen again. You don't have to punish me. I've already learned my lesson. I swear. I'm sorry, but my mind is made up. We're going to have a long talk the next time that you come into the office. But just know that if you somehow manage to walk out of that meeting and you still have your job, you have Beth to thank.
After that, a serious meeting was scheduled at Ron's work to decide how to deal with him. One side wanted to demote him, while the other were of the mind that he should be fired. In the end, he was demoted and had his pay reduced. I heard that he was given the office in the boiler room where nobody else works. But I'm sure that the shock about his job didn't affect Ron nearly as much as my decision to end our marriage. I told him that I wasn't going to spend another day with a man who not only couldn't take care of himself, but then blamed others when his incompetence created trouble. The divorce went smoothly, though I heard through the grapevine that after working down in the boiler room for so long, that Ron became depressed and decided to quit his job. I have no idea what he's been doing since then. But all I know is that now that Ron isn't constantly messaging me over every little thing, I feel like I can finally concentrate on my work. In fact, I was able to get so much work done that in a couple of months, I learned that I was being promoted. In some ways, maybe I should be grateful to Ron. After all, I feel like he showed me how to patiently deal with even the most useless of employees to manage. Since then, I actually have become the manager of my own team in my office. Thankfully, I feel like I was prepared to guide my staff through any questions or challenges that they might have had. Thankfully, my whole team was very responsible and was able to start working on their own once they understood what their jobs were. Of course, I was more than happy to help if concerns came up, but it was nice to finally be able to delegate and not have to babysit.
Hey Meg, are you there? I was just double checking that you were going to the doctor's office today, right? Have you already gone? Or are you still at home?
No, I already went actually. My appointment was this morning. What about you, Dan? Did you just start your lunch break?
Yeah, about 3 minutes ago. This morning has been so slow. I was waiting all day up to now so that I could text you. So anyways, how did the doctors go? Did they have anything to say? How are things looking?
Well, they did a sonogram and ran over some other tests, and it seems like the baby's doing really well. And since I'm this close to having it, they really aren't concerned about any kind of freak incidents happening suddenly. They said that as far as they could tell, I'm on track to have the baby according to when they said I would.
I see. Well then it all sounds like good news to me. That's such a relief. And just to double check, if the doctor said that you'd have the baby according to the date they predicted for you, would that mean we'd be looking at the start of next month?
Yep, pretty much around then, although you can never know for sure with this thing, right? So it might be a couple of days before or after that window, but I take it that you've already asked your boss for the time off, right?
Well, yeah. I did ask, but I was only able to get a few days off of work anyways. He told me that even though it's my break time, that I can't just take off huge amounts all of a sudden. But I'll talk to him about it a little more. Maybe at the very least I can arrange some kind of work from home deal or something like that.
Of course, you do what you need to do to make sure things go okay at your office. Oh, right. That reminds me, I meant to ask you, did you say anything to that coworker of yours? What's his name? Ted?
You're asking me if I said anything to Ted? Like what? What should I have said?
Well, it's just his wife actually came over not that long ago. She came over asking if I could teach her how to bake after I'd given birth. But she specifically asked if I could teach her how to make a bundt cake, even though I've never ever made one of those before.
Wait, really? Are you sure? You mean to tell me you've never made a bundt cake before? What do you call those little small ones that you made last year of the New Year's party?
Dan, are you talking about the cupcakes that I made? Did you really think those were called bundt cakes? They're two completely different things. She'd be better off just following some recipe online.
Well, I don't really see what the difference is. If you can bake one thing, you can probably bake a bunch more then, right?
I really don't think that's how it works, and I certainly wouldn't be comfortable teaching someone something I don't know how to do. But more important than that, you really have to quit fibbing to people about me, Dan. I mean, you tell people that I can do basically anything, and then they come to me asking for it.
And you really think that's all because of what I tell people about you?
Of course that's what I think it's all about, but do you have any idea just how much work I've had to do so that those people don't get disappointed?
Work? What are you talking about? What have you done?
I mean that you had that other friend who you told that I could speak Spanish to, remember? I don't speak any Spanish.
But that isn't true though. I mean, you told me you were pretty good at it when you took it in high school.
Yeah, and it's only gotten worse since. Besides, you told this person that I would teach them how to speak Spanish. But I've never once taught anything to anyone. Why do you keep telling these kinds of lies to people? Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is when I have to tell them that I have no idea how to do what they think I do?
Is it really that bad? I think that sounds kind of funny to me.
Well, I'm not laughing at all, Dan. I am really happy that you can talk about me freely to your friends and coworkers. But I'm only asking that you just tell them things about me that are actually true. Is that really so much to ask for?
Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have sent that last message. But, I mean, you really do so much already. And thanks to me, everyone in my office thinks that you're amazing. That's a good thing, right?
Dan, I think we've talked about this before, but ever since I was little, people always told me that I could do anything just because I'm pretty. And thanks to that, I actually suffered a lot of embarrassment when I couldn't do any of it. It was a lot to put on a kid, and I still carry those feelings with me, especially when your coworkers come around asking me for things.
Alright. I think you did tell me something about this before, actually. But anyways, if you're really so against seeing any of my coworkers, does that mean that you're going to miss the company barbecue that's coming up?
It feels like you're just trying to change the subject here when I'm trying to tell you about how I feel.
No, I'm not trying to change the subject. I'm just putting a pin that so that we can talk about the barbecue really quick. I mean, I think some people are gonna bring their whole families, so I really would appreciate if you could come.
I'm really sorry, Dan, but I can hardly stand the smell of meat cooking as it is. I just don't see that happening. Besides, it's already so hot this summer, I don't think I could be outdoors for that long.
I guess you have a point there. But that really sucks. I was hoping we could have gone together.
Well, sorry it didn't work out this time. Maybe next year. And again, just please be a little more careful with what you tell others about me, okay? I understand wanting to brag about your wife, but let's keep the brags within the realm of things I can actually do.
Yeah. I promise to watch what I say around people. Jeez. Anyways, I've got to get back to work now. As for you, you're pregnant. So you really should learn to relax and take things easier.
Thanks for that, Dan. I'll do my best to take things easy from here on. Hope you have a good rest of the day at work.
Hey Meg, what are you doing right now? So happy to be at home at the moment.
Yep, I'm at home, pregnant as ever. I take it you've already arrived at your company barbecue then? You know, I can hardly even get myself off the couch as I am right now. But I hope that you're having fun. How is it over there?
Oh, it's really fun. Lots of people here and we are all having a good time. But I'm actually going to be coming home now. So get ready to leave the house when I get back, okay?
Wait, what? You mean you're already coming home from the event? And just where are we going that I need to get ready to leave? Where are we going?
Well, I'm going to be bringing you to the barbecue as well. So just get ready for me to pick you up and we can go.
Hold on a second, Dan. I thought that we already talked about this. I told you that I wouldn't be able to go. You said okay, remember? What changed since then?
Yeah, I did say that I was okay with it. But now I have people here who are asking where you are and want to meet you.
As in people from your work that want to meet me? People like who?
You remember last year how the new girl joined our company, right? Well, she wants to meet the wife that I've been bragging about this whole time.
I think I remember you mentioning something about the new hire, but I don't get why she would want to meet me.
I guess that she's just come to really admire you after all that she's heard. This is a good thing.
She's come to admire me? What does that even mean? How can she admire me if we haven't even met? I'm sorry, Dan, but I'm just really confused right now.
Well then let me explain. Thanks to me, my whole office thinks that you're a beautiful woman, an amazing cook, and a jack of all trades. You must be so happy to hear all of this though, right? I mean, this is great for you.
Dan, I thought that we talked about this before. You said that you would stop telling people in your office lies about me, remember? Please, it's really embarrassing when they ask me about all these things that I just can't do. I know that you're just wanting people to be excited about meeting your wife, but it really does put me in an awkward spot.
I'm sorry, but I don't see anything wrong with what I'm doing. I know that you don't want to come and meet this coworker. I'm going to insist that you do come.
Are you serious right now? You're seriously going to insist that I go to this barbecue with you even though I told you I can't?
Please. Don't you care at all about my reputation here at the office? I am your husband and I am inviting you to this event. You are going to make me look really bad if you just turn me down, you know? How am I supposed to save face around here if you're not doing what I say?
Dan, you do realize that I am on the verge of giving birth to our child, right? I mean, I could go into labor any day now, basically. And I am telling you that I don't want to be standing outside at a hot barbecue and smell meat cooking all day.
Oh, come on. Do you really think the weather is so bad that something's gonna happen to you? You're going to be just fine. Don't worry so much.
Dan, you can't just brush off all my worries by telling me not to worry. Besides, this isn't just about me. This is about the baby as well. Aren't you worried about what will happen if I get heat stroke or something?
Of course I'm not, because that isn't going to happen. I'll be right there looking after you. Don't worry. If you ever get tired, you can just tell me and it'll be all okay.
Really? Because for some reason I just can't bring myself to believe that.
You mean that you can't believe something your own husband is telling you? What's the matter with you? Besides, I need you here at the barbecue so that I could put you to work.
Put me to work? What does that mean? You aren't seriously going to ask me to do things there, are you?
You mean you really think you can just show up, eat food, and then go home without doing anything? Come on now, I've been telling everyone here about how amazing you are. You have to show up and do something to impress them. Think of how embarrassed I'll be if you can't even do that. Anyways, I'm already on my way over to pick you up. Ugh, you really have some serious nerve, do you know that? I mean, did you really have to go and faint in the middle of the barbecue and in front of all my coworkers? You totally ruined the reputation I set up for you. I don't even know what else to say except that I'm very, very disappointed in you.
Excuse me? You're disappointed in me? You've got to be kidding me. Dan, I can't believe you actually just said that. I am seriously getting sick and tired of you.
And just who do you think you are to take that kind of tone with me, huh? This is all your fault. If you didn't pass out, then my boss would have never scolded me in front of everyone. Can you believe that they put all the blame on me for what you did? Don't you dare try to spin this against me too. No one is spinning anything against you. Certainly not me, your boss. What are you talking about? You're not boss. Is that supposed to be some kind of joke or something? Oh no, it's no joke at all. This is your boss speaking to you, or should I say, former boss. Since as of today, you are fired. Wait, Tony, is that really you? What on earth are you doing with my wife? Well, your wife had her accident at our company event. So of course I went to the hospital to go and visit her, and apologize for what happened. And that was when she talked about the kind of idiotic things you've been saying to her. Well, I got upset that I asked Meg if I could borrow her phone and have a little word with you. Okay. I believe that it's really you, but I'm not really fired, right? I mean, you didn't really mean it when you said that, did you? Oh, I was very serious, and I still am. I better not see you at work tomorrow. Now hold on just a second. Don't you think that's just taking things a little bit too far? I mean, this has to be illegal or something. I'm sorry. But after what I've learned about you, I just don't want to be working in the same office as you. But why? I didn't even do anything. It was my wife who caused the scene, not me. Are you really trying to pin this all on your pregnant wife? I can't believe that you would do that. How can you call yourself her husband? She should be the most important thing in the world to you. And this whole time you were just trying to use her to score points at the office. Tony, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's appropriate for you to be stepping into this matter. This is between my wife and I would appreciate your understanding. All that being said, please don't fire me. Well, if you'd like, we could take this matter to court and see what a judge has to say about your firing. But this isn't fair. You can't take me to... You're the one trying to fire me. And I'll make sure that the court knows exactly why keeping you around would be bad for the company. By the way, I wouldn't bother trying to visit your wife in the hospital. She's asking me to tell you that she never wants to see you again. Not only that, but she also wants to get a divorce as well. She's telling me to tell you that the next time you hear from her, it'll be through her lawyer. Have a nice life, Dan.
It wasn't long after that I went into labor, but I would never have guessed that I would be signing divorce papers as soon as it was born. I heard later from Tony that Dan was ultimately fired as well. During the divorce proceedings, I was able to get a hefty payment from Dan for the danger that he put our child and I in. He was also ordered to pay child support until our baby was an adult. Dan decided to settle the child support issue with one large payment. Apparently he couldn't stand the shame of his family and office knowing what he had done. He wanted to get the divorce process over and done with as soon as possible. After it was all done and over, I never heard from Dan again. I know it'll be hard to raise this child on my own. Sometimes I wonder if it wouldn't have been better to stay with Dan. But then I think of what that would mean making my child grow up with. No matter what, I don't regret what I've done.